Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us tonight with our artist talk with Nathan Caryl Donlon. People will be joining as they come along, and I just want to say thank you so much to spending some time with us and discussing this artwork. Nathan joins us from his home studio, and he was born in 1999 and is a New Hampshire-based artist. Nathan has received a BA studying fine arts at Indiana University of Pennsylvania. He works with mediums such as oil paint and also colored pencils, experimenting action of color, space, animals, and shapes. Nate's studio arts education, paired with years of creative practice, have refined ideas and developed a stable body of work. He aims to exhibit artwork in public gallery spaces, free to continue prioritizing his artistic research. Welcome, Nathan. It's lovely to see you.
You, Amy. It's great to see you.
So when people visit Seesaw Art this month, now what can they expect to see in your collection?
Lots of animals, but more likely themes of animals in our modern human-made world. My paintings sort of don't depict scenarios, but are sort of just my thoughts put on the canvas. I sort of just wonder how animals feel about random things that none of us, bat an eye at. Drill bits, these iron fences, steel beams, just like completely random things that we are so used to. It's just interesting to wonder how animals see them. Are they scared of these things? Are they in love with them? Are they infatuated? I just wonder how these animals feel in our human-made world. Well, we normally don't wonder how they feel about these things.
We know what a fence is and what it's for. We know what a drill bit is for. We know what a house is for. So, like, how do they define what that is? If it's or not, or yeah.
And some of these things, I know they aren't scary, but like, I don't know, just very industrial. I don't know.
It seems to me, and it's funny because I have like my welcome to the gallery. I can tell that you're interested in Nathan's work. Like, let me tell you a little bit about it. And I've been able to articulate it just from chatting with you and setting up the show. But I also just have this like I myself have a question about it. And like I myself have that very questioning vibe around the work. And it seems like you are also very much in there and defining it as you're creating the themes.
Yeah, one thing I mainly focus on when painting these animals is I sort of look for this specific look in their eyes where it's not. I always start with the eye. When I start painting, I start with the eyes because it's to me, all the emotion is in the eyes. It's not necessarily fear, infatuation. It's not anything specific, but I don't know. I gravitate towards this specific look. I don't know exactly what it is. Just this ignorant. I don't know. It's ignorance.
Totally
Ignorance is exactly what I'm.
What might help us is I totally forgot I made a slide deck so that we can discuss the work. So I love hearing that you start with the eye because multiple times during chatting with patrons, that's the thing that we'll bring up besides the style, of course, which is just incredibly striking. But it is how the eye is so well articulated in a medium that is like it's approachable, right? So it's not like super, like it is super technical in a way, but it also is that humble oil paint. So I've had like so many lovely conversations with patrons thinking about how did he get that perfect feeling of the eye in the
Oh,
paintings. And
that's
there's like
awesome.
so many examples of this. Each painting has an animal in it, right?
Mhm,
But
mhm.
like specifically with this Untitled, like
Uh-huh.
it just has this vibe of like, don't touch me. But it's the
Yeah,
softest honey. Like it just looks like a very standoffish, like soft, but at the same time, like it just kind of has this attitude. And
uh-huh.
it's it comes through in the eye.
And you to me at least, I don't see the thoughts, but I know that there's thoughts behind those eyes. I wonder, what are they thinking? Are they scared? Are they infatuated? Do they see this as like something more significant than we would see a drill bit? Like
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, with a piece like this, which is so large, I mean, 48 by 36, it's so striking. It's right in front of me, so I can't help but look. But
no.
this has like such a great articulation of what you're talking about, that these animals have their own lives, they have their own ways of communicating. Somehow they've pigeonholed themselves into this is such a human thing for me to say, but like into our world,
uh,
or we've pigeonholed them into, we've taken their world. There's just such an incredible give and take to this
mhm,
subject matter.
mhm,
And
mhm.
it is a little hard to sort of fully articulate in a way. And
Exactly.
like this really tender, loving moment
Uh-huh.
between probably a doe and a fawn.
Mhm,
And but then also it has that like restriction in the back with like the iron fence.
mhm.
um,
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
the contrast between the acrylic and the oil, and that we can see your talents in both. So many people are like, is that a stencil? How does he do
No,
iron? I'm
it's
like, I think he just does it.
it's hours of
And it's hard.
painstaking correcting and straight lines. It's a lot, but it's always so worth it in the end.
Oh man, definitely. Yeah, and it's that beautiful contrast where it's more matte, and
Mhm,
it's
mhm,
it's it's detailed, but at the same time it's not as detailed as the foreground. In the
no.
foreground, like you could spend one day looking at an inch and you would
Uh-huh.
be totally fine,
Mhm,
because there's just this layering happening. There is in that inherent give and take between the subject matter, but the give
mhm,
and take between the application of the paint and
mhm,
how you're popping it on, your color theory, how you're choosing to put it all together.
mhm.
Uh, this is a great, all of them are a great example of it. We'll talk about Lucy in a minute. But
Uh,
what I love about this is there's like some really gorgeous blue that's happening here. And I try
mhm,
with my cell phone camera. These aren't like super professional photos.
uh-uh.
So the best part is to see them in person, of course. But they're every time I look at a piece, I'll pick out like a little bit of a color fleck and I'll just enjoy it, because I really feel like you're expressing so much in not only how that palette knife is applying the oil paint, but then in the color. And before we jumped on, we were talking about our backgrounds, and
Mhm,
we can see that rainbow of color that you have to
mhm.
pick from, all of those haikus, all those paintings yet to come. So can you talk a little bit about how you make those color choices?
Um, yeah, so mainly I try to choose colors that you wouldn't necessarily guess would be in there, because half most of the time they are in there. Even if I end up layering more colors on top of that, those colors end up working somehow. I don't know. I just always aim to add colors that you necessarily wouldn't think to use, because I think that really just it makes it more realistic. Because in real life it's not just black and white, and these simple colors. It is so many. It just adds so much depth,
Definitely.
adding all these colors. So
To it. And when you're thinking about like the color of your hair, like it's not just brown, right? It's
mhm,
all the
mhm.
things that add that onto it. And I feel like there's a lot of experimentation going on where you're like, try
So,
something and like, yes, it works, or like, no, it doesn't, or oh, it's exciting and it's leading you into another direction. I see specifically with the set that we have on view, it's a really chosen, really beautiful color palette. You know, you've had different points in your career where you're trying them all and you're doing everything, but you have found the tones and the colors that really represent like this natural world, but then it's so surprising at the same time. It's really
I find,
incredible.
I find myself using green a lot. I think there's a
Definitely.
lot of greens in, in these pictures that I choose that like you normally wouldn't choose to put like green in the forehead of the deer and just like yeah, and around that front leg on the mom, but it's there, and
It really is.
it's a
Yeah.
challenge to use those colors because when I'm starting the painting, but until the painting's done, it's so hard on my eyes because those colors just don't feel right. But as soon as I'm done, it makes so much sense.
How can you tell that it's done?
When when I think it's done,
Yeah.
one of the best things I've ever heard that have helped me not overwork paintings is as soon as you feel it has a soul, as soon
Mm,
as you feel
yeah.
those animals are talking to you, leave it. Don't overwork it. If it's speaking to you, then that's exactly what it's supposed to be doing.
If
Don't.
you can tell that it has a story to tell you now, you've put it in, but
Mhm,
now you're going to learn from the work. I love
exactly.
that. Yeah. I want to spend some time talking about the piece that's behind me, which is
Yeah.
Scuttle. And so you
Uh-huh.
said you really like this painting,
I love this
all
painting.
of
This is
them.
my
So,
favorite painting I've ever done.
well, how lucky do I get to be to enjoy
Uh-huh.
it? Oh
Uh-huh.
my goodness. So, why is it your favorite painting? Where did it come from? What drew you to the idea of the mice and like this composition?
So I had mostly been working with single animals in my paintings, maybe sometimes two, like in a secret conversation and some past work. Um, and also I never really worked with edge to edge oil. I've never done
Mm,
oil. So I often use Pinterest. I'm on Pinterest a lot. I work from a lot of found images, and I just laid eyes on this one, and I
mm.
was like, I think this will be a good test for edge to edge oil, and I did it, and it ended up coming out beautifully. I think my favorite, what I love about this painting is all the colors, all those
Yes.
colors. There's so many just yummy.
I
I
love the
see like
gradient too. Like it's bright,
green.
but then it's also dark. And then
Mhm,
like the shadows are really beautiful. And
mhm,
like you said, there's so many eyes in this
mhm,
painting to sort of get
mhm,
lost in and to kind of feel how they're feeling.
mhm,
They have their individuality singing through in that.
uh-huh,
And it's
uh-huh,
another large piece too. So it's super
yeah,
striking
big, big,
when you
big,
walk in the gallery. Yeah.
yeah. With
And I
palette
love
knife
the blue
too,
in this.
I sort of do have to work big because if I want those, well, the palette knife's wide, so one, it's hard to do small details, and two, I aim for these wide, rectangular, not rectangular, but
It's
just
like a
wide,
swath in a way.
yeah.
It's like a really lovely mark making where it's almost
Mhm.
like flat, but it also has edges. Like it's 3D.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I just always aim for wide brush strokes. I love all the colors in this one, the greens. I love the purples and yellows.
Oh, man. And
This one's
all around that like monochromatic, right? Of the white mice. Like
Yeah, yeah,
that
exactly. They're all
together
the
too.
same color, but
Yes.
each one is 70 different colors. It's crazy. It's
And
crazy.
that's what they are in real life too. That was something that
Uh-huh.
someone brought up, like, wow, it's monochromatic, but there's so many colors. Chatting
Mhm,
about the work this weekend.
mhm.
Let's see what I've got here. This is just such a
Oh,
beautiful moment. I have
mhm,
it right in the window because I figured everybody
mhm,
who walks by will just fall in love with it, of
mhm,
course. It's so tender,
mhm, mhm,
and it has such a moment. And I can't remember if it was you or someone else I was chatting about with was the fact that like a fawn can be on its own, but maybe the mom is just gone for a second and
Mm-hmm.
it's still fine, but we will want to interact. And maybe
Uh-huh.
we want to like make sure the animal's okay or that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Like we're always intervening.
Uh-huh.
And like nature is probably fine. I mean, obviously in extreme circumstances,
Yeah.
right? I forget
Yeah.
who it was someone I was chatting with that was like, oh, it was my friend Jen who stopped by. We chatted
Uh-huh.
about the work for a while on Saturday. And she was like, most of the time when you see a fawn,
Mm-hmm.
like it's known that it's alone because it's so
Mm-hmm.
hopeful that the doe is around somewhere and keeping an eye, just like
Mm-hmm.
any mom would.
Mm-hmm.
Or like when you find a turtle and it's going one direction, like don't
Uh-huh.
put it going back to where it came from. Like it knows what it's doing. It wants to cross that road because
Uh-huh.
it has that innate, like sad they have to cross the road, but like here we are. So
Uh-huh.
we have this idea that we want to interfere and like make it better. But
Mm-hmm.
nature knows, and nature is older than us, and like it has these processes. So
Uh-huh.
that was really well spelled out for me in this piece where like is it a haven? Like I want to believe it is because it's a really
Mm-hmm.
beautiful moment, but what does that mean? It's instantly restricted. And
Uh-huh.
especially thinking about like composition between this piece and Scuttle, like you
Uh-huh.
still have that restriction element, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's that composition and all the mice are together and it kind of feels like restricted, or you
Right.
have the element of the iron gate,
Mm-hmm.
where we imprisoned potentially
Mm-hmm.
in this animal.
The thing with my paintings too is like I said, they don't exactly depict what how I explain them. This theme of animals in the human modern world.
Yes.
They're up for interpretation.
Yeah.
To me, the deer could look like it's just chilling, or it almost looks like it's scared of a person coming up, and it's all up for interpretation. And that sort of plays into me wondering how they feel seeing these things. It's all up for interpretation.
Especially where we can't chat with them about it. We can't ask them how they feel. We can
Uh-huh.
just sort of we could just sort of like come to our own conclusions without actually like having that validation, which is a really weird thing when you think about it,
Hmm.
like we're all
Hmm.
on the planet together and we can't communicate.
Hmm.
Amazing. I love this one. So this one, especially in contrast to Untitled, like this is such a happy bunny
Uh,
who like, and it's really beautiful, the iridescent paint in this piece. It seems like such a vulnerable moment, and I love how you've chosen to, what sort of stance the animals are in too. I think is a
mhm,
really important part. Like this
mhm,
feels like a really lovely sleepy moment.
mhm.
Really
Um, I hate to get dark, but it also looks like it could be
pretty dead.
past.
It
Yeah,
could
yeah,
have passed. Yep,
exactly.
yep,
It's all
true, right? And
it's
its eyes are closed. We don't see what they're. We don't
mhm.
really what they how they might be feeling because the eyes are closed.
And the fence sort of opens a whole new chapter to the painting too.
Yeah,
Is it dreaming of this? Is it heavenly? Does it feel safe? The fence could symbolize like a safety sort of thing. It's all up for
and it's white,
interpretation.
right? So pearly gates maybe, but then it's
Yeah,
also the
exactly.
only one that is obstructed. Everything else is very clear that
Hmm.
it's a fence, and so with this like white gauze around it, yeah,
Hmm.
it is really otherworldly in a way or heavenly. One that I wanted to chat about while I had you is
Uh-huh.
Revolver, the first piece that I have when you walk in.
Hmm.
Tell us about the title for that.
My titles, they often do play into the painting.
They don't
Like,
have to, though.
yeah, exactly. A secret
Yeah,
conversation uh, fit
perfect. Right.
perfect with that
Yeah.
painting. I've had that picture in my camera roll in my head for so long. I've had that phrase in my head for so long. It
Yeah.
just was completely came together perfectly. But with Revolver, sometimes they don't have anything to do with what is in the painting. but I like the word. I hear things that I like, and sometimes it just fits with
Yeah.
what I make for some reason. I The only sort of relation with Revolver to this painting is um the swan is, I don't know. I could see the swan revolving. I don't know.
Well, it's like it gets completely centered. And
Mm-hmm.
there
Yeah.
is kind of this like there, I mean, obviously we're inspired by the idea of revolving, but the
Uh-huh.
fence is different. The fence
Mm-hmm.
kind of looks like it could be on a circle. And
Mm-hmm.
there, yeah, I can definitely see that. I think it's the symmetricality of
Yeah.
the how it's placed that
Mm-hmm.
kind of
They don't.
conjures up. This piece
It
is
doesn't.
so beautiful too. The pink is beautiful.
Thank you.
And in such a great contrast to A Secret Conversation, like the two of them together are really gorgeous. And the swan motif, I mean, it's just so beautiful,
Uh-huh.
right?
And I think another thing is revolver being another, man-made object. Revolvers are these very intense guns, very intense thing. And this
Yeah,
painting is so gentle and not that. I love that contradiction. I love, it sort of goes along with the theme to my paintings, these very industrial things. It works together for some reason.
it does.
I don't
So like it prompted me to ask the question because I couldn't figure it out. Like, what is real? Like maybe
no,
there's a
some,
story. How is it applying? Is it helping me like
uh,
stretch the meaning kind of in a way or think about it in
mhm,
a different way? And I love
mhm,
that candidness, right? Because
mhm.
obviously as an art curator, I'm a little bit of like a historic librarian. Like I need to know the titles for the paintings. And if someone
Uh,
drops them off and they're untitled 1 through 11, it's like, that's fine, right? Maybe that's
uh,
important to you. But
mhm,
when you do take the time to title the work,
mhm.
then like I know there's a little thought process behind there.
I-
So I love like teasing that out. And that, I think that's really cool that just like appreciation of word in a way
mhm,
and it finds its way to a painting and
uh-huh,
that's where it leads, and
uh-huh,
it's known or it's unknown, and I really love that mix of all the titles in the show. Like
uh-huh,
some, okay, that makes sense. Scuttle, I love that. Like that's so
uh-huh.
perfect, right? And Revolver is perfect too in its own way.
Mhm, mhm.
It does, like,
I have another one of a fox in front of a blue fence, and that one's titled Heavy Hammer. I love
mm,
just these aggressive sounding titles with just this
I love
soft
that.
subject matter. There was another one, Heavy Hammer, Revolver. What's the black? Could you go back to the black dog real quick?
Of course, that one is entitled Heavy Hammer.
Oh, is that one Heavy Hammer? Ah,
That,
they're all blending together.
I love that one. No, that's
Oh,
cool. I
Iron
love
Fist.
that title for
The
this.
the Fox's Iron Fist.
Yes, yes,
I
okay.
was
I
getting them all
remember
mixed
seeing
up.
that.
But just these
Yeah.
very aggressive titles with such this is more of a aggressive painting, but there's still that gentle fence behind. I love the
Yeah.
contradiction. I
Yeah.
love just,
That's
and it sort
cool.
of plays into the title of the show, Feral Beauty.
Yes. Yeah. And it
It,
was definitely inspired by because I knew the titles of your paintings before. So I was like trying to pull out that like that industrialism, that
yeah.
gothicness. I knew that the show was gonna have like black and white photography and then like
Yeah.
black and white prints too. I was like, is a lot of black for a July show.
Yeah.
But like that's what happened. Everybody like resonated together and like with just a like a light touch of an idea. And the way I booked the shows, I thought of your work first, and then I booked Christy and Christopher to complement your work and obviously complement each other.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that like pulling all of those ideas together,
Mm-hmm.
inspired by your paintings, like it made
Mm-hmm.
such a great conversation
Uh,
for the works to live together.
yeah, no, I totally agree.
It's
Could
really
I have
fun.
1 second? I need to plug my laptop in.
Yeah,
I don't want to
definitely.
lose you. um, Also, in the middle of this body of work, I found myself really, to go back to Revolver, I found myself
Yeah.
really gravitating towards pinks, blacks, and whites. Um,
Mm.
Like in the mice one behind you, in Heavy Hammer, Revolver, a lot of the pieces in the show. There's a few green ones and whatnot. But I just fell in love with those three colors together. Just very natural almost. I
Yeah.
don't know, fresh.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
like all the tones within all of that. So it's like the brown tones, or it's like, and I really love when I see a painting that has like a pink underpainting
Oh,
first.
that's
And
me.
then on top, you could see that vibrancy coming through,
Mhm.
like the paint, which you can definitely see here in Lucy Gets
Uh-huh.
Scared. And
Uh-huh.
like about putting the emotion in the eyes.
Mhm.
And this is, you wouldn't believe it, is a pretty galvanizing painting for
It's,
patrons.
uh,
Either people love it or they
uh,
just do not like it.
they're like,
And
oh,
I
what
don't
is
understand how they can't like it, but I think it's a little bit of like poodle bias. Like they just don't
yeah.
like the type of dog. But it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
wait a minute, like you're entitled to your opinion, of course. But like, look
Mhm.
at Lucy, she's scared.
And
Like,
yeah, and it does offer that spectrum of feeling. Some people might feel sympathy for Lucy, some people might be scared of her. It's all up for interpretation, and I love that about my paintings.
yes, definitely. And they're so striking too, like I said, and that is definitely not lost on me. Like they're so incredibly beautiful. And it was fun for me because I knew that Lucy and Heavy Hammer couldn't share a wall. So I was like, okay, they're one on one side, one on the
uh,
other. And
uh,
I have to be honest with you, we hung up your work first because it's the largest and to kind of
uh,
start. And I was like, this could be the show. Like it could just be
really.
so beautiful. I was like, oh, it's
Uh,
gonna be great with everybody else's work, but at the same time, like it just is such a good scale
awesome.
for exhibiting. It's amazing.
Oh, well, that's great to hear. Thanks, Amy.
And then Baby, which is just
Mhm,
such a beautiful moment. We see those pinks that you were talking about in
mhm,
there. It's
mhm.
gorgeous. It's such a beautiful scale as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this was one of the first. It wasn't the first. No, it definitely wasn't the first one playing with paintbrush, but maybe a couple after the first one.
Yeah,
Recently started using paintbrushes. And I'm loving how it turns out.
that's excellent. Yeah.
Palette knife really set me up and gave me this practice for making these unworked paintings.
Mhm.
And when
Yeah.
I finally picked, I was never ever great at painting with a paintbrush until my
Yeah.
senior year of college. I took a painting class and I was about to drop it because I was like, I'm gonna be so hard on myself.
You're
I'm
not
not
into
a
it.
painter.
Yeah.
And the first project was palette knife painting, and it worked. It
Oh,
worked
wow.
perfectly. I I loved the product I made, and I had a professor that was also into what I was making, so that let me know that
Yeah.
there's something there. There's something there that's working, and then I just went from there, and that really set me up to be the painter that I am right now.
Yes, yeah, to define your style, to make something
Mhm.
that when someone sees it, they say, "Hey, what the heck is this? This is amazing," right? It's really hard to get that out of almost
Oh,
every person who looks at your work, and
mhm.
what a joy to share that is. But then I can also see how years in, you're like, "Okay, how else am I able to express myself? And what
What's
can I take that I've learned from this style that I've set, but then
Mhm,
evolve it?" You
mhm,
know? And I
mhm.
really love when I see artists who have, I mean, not totally different series, but they have their ways and they know
Uh-huh.
what to use to express for the moment. And I think
Mhm,
that that's really fun. And I really love seeing you explore this and to try to
mhm.
figure it out. And very, very happy to have something on exhibition that shows that style.
I was a little hesitant about including it, but it sort of gave me a reason to talk about, this sort of jump to the next step. And it still has the theme of the fence. This
Yeah.
fence was another thing. I was always centering the fences and sort of framing them perfectly. This one,
Yeah.
I just put the fence really up close, so you can't exactly tell it's a fence, but you still
Yeah.
know it could just be swirls to some people, but to me, I still know it's that fence.
Definitely. Yeah, you're zooming in. You're also
Mhm.
showing like it's a baby horse or it's a baby mule, right? So it's like a small animal, but
Mhm.
like they're not typically too small either. So
Oh,
it's fun to think about how big that fence would be if it was like
uh,
the traditional size. It'd be like crazy,
actually, that.
but it adds that depth and it adds that background
Mhm.
that it would be I think this would be really a different painting when especially when thinking about like Untitled without the fence, it would
Mhm.
just be that.
Oh
And I
yeah,
think that, like
yeah.
especially with the color choices too, like I love this in the like the background of like the yellow or the taupe almost, and then that gray
Uh-huh.
contrast with the pink.
Uh-huh.
It's great.
Oh,
Definitely.
thank you.
I honestly feel like we could chat forever because I still have
I
more to
know
say.
it. I know. I'm like, it's already 8.
We didn't even ask any of my standard questions. We didn't even need them.
That's okay.
But let's think here. Let's just go back to Lucy. And I wanted to ask you, how do you
Uh-huh.
find time to make work, just in
It's all I
general?
do. It's all I do. I love it. So when I first moved to New Hampshire, me and my husband Emmett were sharing a studio. I think that played a little bit a part in why I slowed down on painting. And also um, I hadn't had my job that I'm at now. I was in a transitional phase, so I took a couple years off from painting. But eventually Emmett got his own studio, and I was like, okay, well, this is exciting. I have my own studio, and since then it kicked right off. And
Awesome.
it's, to me, they're almost like, I look at them like puzzles. I can, I piece them together. They're fun. They're fun to
Yeah,
do for me. And I just, it's all I love. It's all I love to do. So
that's it.
I could do it for hours.
Excellent. And along those same lines, like it's also really tough to be an artist,
Yeah.
A lot of time, it's a lot of it's all your time, just kidding. But
Uh,
like it's, sometimes, and this happens to me, like why do we even do this? This is really hard, it's expensive,
mhm,
it's like
mhm,
it's craziness.
mhm,
When you have a challenging moment,
mhm.
how do you bring yourself back? Like you said, you had to take some time off to figure it
Uh-huh.
out. And then you came back to it. So
Mhm.
do you have any like tips for anybody who's kind of struggling and thinking like, why do we even do this at all?
Just take that time off and just do what feels right. And I take that time off, but also one of the best things I've ever heard in college was it was my senior seminar. I was about to graduate, and I had a professor, and she said, if I tell you one thing, is just like keep making. Just don't stop. Just keep doing it. And that, I know it's not that deep, but it stuck with me for
Yeah.
some reason. I was like, this is a well established professor. She's also an working artist. She's telling me to do this, and I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna listen. And
Yeah, for sure. And to know that, like, no matter what's happening, you're a creative person, you'll always be a creative person. I feel like our
exactly.
pops up a lot. And I remember when we worked together last August, and you were like, yeah, I just took some time off. And you were like,
Uh-huh.
I'm back though. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
oh man, like a lot of times our I will sort of become the confessor when I say, like, hey, let's do a show. I'll see
Uh-huh.
someone 6 months later and we'll be like, oh, Amy, I haven't done anything. This is happening,
Uh-huh.
blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, 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 no.
It doesn't
I'm
matter.
in it
No.
for the long haul. It doesn't matter. Whenever you're ready, let me know. I just know that like I'm excited to work with you, whether it's
Mhm.
now or if it's in 20 years, I don't care. Like I'll
Mhm.
probably still be doing the same thing. So
Yeah.
I think that like artists really beat themselves up if they're not making every day. But
Uh-huh.
I also think that like you need to make sure that it's approachable for you. And if you
Ex-
need time off, then that's okay too. And it's
Exactly.
good.
Don't
It's good to
force
rest.
it.
Yeah.
Let
When
everything come naturally, and I promise it will. I
I love
think good art comes from just living your life, and not forcing it.
I love that so much. That's
Oh,
really, really beautiful.
thank
Oh
you.
my goodness. This has been really, really fun,
Oh,
Nathan.
yeah, no, it's been awesome, Amy. I love talking to you.
There is a little bit more time to see this exhibition. So come on down to 408 Chestnut Street. We're so happy to be on the storefront now. I'll be here Friday from 4 to 8 and enjoying the exhibition. And then there'll be some time after the show closes to take a look at the paintings as well. But I just want to say thank you so much. Everyone can check anything out at seesaw.art, but then also book time to come down and view the exhibitions or view it online. You can check out all the paintings from that website as well. So thanks so much, Nathan. Really, really great to catch up.
Thank you, Amy. It's been such an honor showing with you, and it's been such a great opportunity. I appreciate it so much.
My pleasure.